Hello guys, and welcome to another CREY video guide. My name is Scuden, and today we'll have a look at the Seeker and see what you can do with the Seeker and how it works. So the Seeker is, again, one of my absolute favorite props. I use it a lot, because you can actually do a lot with it. But let's just start with covering the basics. So the Seeker, when powered, will try to seek toward the character, or seek toward a certain object that you select. So just to exemplify this, let's try and go ahead select the skull here, and let's just open that, and let's glue the skull to the Seeker. And with the default settings, this will seek towards the character at a certain speed with a certain acceleration. It's also going to try to look at the character. It has a turn speed and some movement restrictions, but let's just hit 9 and see what happens. Right now the skull is following us around, alright, and it's looking at us at the same time. And this is the very basics of the Seeker with the default settings. Now, just to give an example of how you can make this a bit more fun, you could add a damage gameplay prop to the skull, and all of a sudden you'd have a sort of a small minigame where you're being chased by a skull. Again, it's up to you how you choose to use all this. It's just to give an example. If you noticed, when I'm running here and when I jump, it's actually going to jump with me because it's going to look at me on the vertical axis. But there's a setting in here, rotate vertically, that you can disable. And now you can see it doesn't look at me, like it jumps with me, but it doesn't look at me at the same time. So it only looks like horizontally. And this can be a nice little setting. You can always just disable the vertical movement, which in this case is the y-axis. Now it's not even going to jump with us, it's just going to follow us. So even when I jump, as you can see, nothing happens. This can come in quite handy as well if you want to, just keep things in a certain height. We can even do like this. You can see it's basically going to float all the time. So that's basically what the axis restraints are there for. Same applies for the X and the C axis. You can just play around with that yourself. You can also just entirely just disable look at. This basically means that it's going to seek towards us, but as you can see, it doesn't look at us. Also, this can be quite handy. So let's see, what are we missing here? Yeah, right now it's seeking the player. We can actually place another object here, and we can let's just enable the look at again, and we can say seek towards the targeted object. So now you select the Seeker, and you can target this sphere over here, and now it's going to seek towards this sphere instead of the character. And of course you could give this sphere a movement. Let's just like this. So we're gluing the sphere to this rotator, applying a bit of speed, and now you'll actually have the skull chasing this ball around. Yeah, so again, another way that you can play around with it. You could also just, if you want to do some snake-ish kind of gameplay, make another couple here, and just make them seek each other. And you should get this nice little train of skulls trying to seek that ball. As you can see, the movement is kind of smooth. Yeah, so that's just another way you can use it. Even apply a rotator to the rotator. So now we get something like this. Yeah. Alright, so that's the basics of the Seeker. Now, another thing I want to show you here, which I think is really useful, is actually if you disable all the movement and just keep the look at, then you'll basically have like something just aiming at the character at all times, because it's unable to move now, because we've restricted all the axes here, but you still have the look at function, which means now it's just going to look at the character, but it's not going to move. So if you want something like creepy skulls or whatever to just look at you, you can actually do that. And this is a pretty cool little trick, I think. Can be pretty fun to play around with. For other uses of the Seeker, you can check out my video on how to do your own custom character. In that video, I'm actually using the Seeker in a little setup as well. So go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. Otherwise, let me know if I missed anything, or if you have alternative ways of using the Seeker that I haven't mentioned in this video. If you want to, I can gladly update with some more stuff on the Seeker, or give some more examples if that's what you want. But for now, just thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all in the next video. Bye!